What's up guys, it's Austin here from Royal Highness Python, and in today's video I got another Morph Madness for you guys. Last week I did Banana, the week before I did Enchi, and a few of you guys in the comments were requesting Pastel. I do have a few pastels, so that's what we're going to do today. Before we get into all that cool stuff, huge shout out to Quebec Reptiles, another Canadian. And are they slacking on the back?
Team slacking.
What? They're really slacking then. So really cool. Thanks for the awesome shirt. Love to from Quebec, and go and check them out. Quebec Reptiles, really cool. They got the Quebec little logo here with a snake running through it. So now let's go and show you some really cool pastel morphs. So right here we have a pastel. This happens to be a pastel het clown, and as you can see, it's a lot brighter than a normal. Has a blushed out head, and it has some blushing throughout the whole snake. Has really nice contrast between the black and the yellows. And this is pretty much the standard base morph of pastel. There are some different lines of pastel that are a little better, like lemon pastel and TSK pastel, but this is just a standard pastel, and this one just happens to be het clown again. Really nice. And a great way to tell if you have a pastel is to look at the head. It almost looks like somebody took a little eraser and just erased the black off the middle of the head and just blushed it out a bit. It's really cool. And now we're gonna go move on to pastel into some morphs. So let's go. Right here I have a pastel enchi, and this one just happens to be double het for ghost clown. And the first thing I notice about pastel enchis is their head stamp. They usually tend to have this butterfly head stamp. Some people say it looks like a bow tie, but I think it looks like a butterfly. Really cool. And if you notice, it's a little bit different than the pastel I just showed you guys. It has a lot more banding along the back, and that's the enchi influence. And the pastel really helps the enchi combo because it really brightens it up and makes it pop. Usually enchis tend to be more brownish green. One of my favorite combos, especially into clown, and I'll show you guys one of those soon. So taking the pastel enchi one step further, right here we have a pastel enchi vanilla het clown female, and she's really feisty. Struck at the camera a bunch of times so far. But you can see how well vanilla and pastel work together at blushing the head even further. You still have that enchi butterfly stamp with the pastel enchi, but now you're left with a snake that is a lot more blushed out. The pattern's a lot wackier from the vanilla, and it's just a really cool combo. Love all the blushing and the dorsal. Hopefully she doesn't turn around and bite me. But now let's go take this one step back, and I'll show you guys a pastel vanilla. This is a pastel vanilla 100% het clown girl. She's also het for ghost. Really cool girl. Really glad I hatched her. She just came out of the egg, so she hasn't had her meal yet. That's why she's so small. But you can see how well pastel and vanilla work at blushing out heads. Really cool snake. You can also see how vanilla goes and whacks out the pattern a bit, adds all these random keyholes into the dorsal, and it looks like this girl really wants to tag me right now, so I'm gonna try staying far away from her. But as you can see, really nice, really blushed out, a lot brighter than just a normal pastel, and really nice combo. If we were to take that pastel enchi vanilla one step further and take the vanilla out and switch it with fire, right here we have a pastel enchi fire blade 100% het clown girl, and you can just see how well this combo works together. The blade kind of messed up the head stamp, but you could really see the pastel and what influence it has done. When you add pastel and fire together, you get a very bright snake known as a Firefly, so this could also be called a Firefly enchi blade het clown. And she is just stunning. She glows so much. Really nice contrast with the dark cocoa. And she's actually about 800 grams right now, and just started to fade a little bit, but really nice combo. You can see the enchi bringing in all the banding and the cleanliness in the pattern. And then you have the pastel fire giving you that really nice bright color. And the blade also changing the head stamp a bit, as well as adding some more banding throughout the snake. So really cool combo. One of my favorite holdbacks from last year. And let's move on to the next combo. This right here is a pastel yellow belly, 66% het for clown, 50% het pie girl, and she's looking really nice. Again, you have that pastel blushing on the head, and you have the really nice yellows throughout the pattern, but you have a lot more blushing on the dorsal, and all this really nice flaming coming up from the sides, and a lot of times leading all the way up to the dorsal. If we were to look at the belly, you can see that really nice yellow belly checkering. Let's just see if I can do this without getting tagged. And there it is. The really nice yellow belly flaming as well. And the pastel is just working so well at making this bright yellow pattern. Really cool snake. If we take that pastel yellow belly one step further, we would get this pastel enchi yellow belly. And once again, we have that nice pastel enchi pinch or butterfly at the head. It's a little more faded out. This girl's around 700 grams right now. You can really see all the yellow belly flaming coming up. Really nice. Let me see if I can turn her over. And there you go. Amazing flaming. You got the yellow belly speckling on the belly. You also have the really nice yellow tones in the pattern from the pastel, brightening it up. An enchi yellow belly is not half as bright as the snake. It's more brown and black. But when you add the pastel, it really blushes it out. It just turns the snake into a real beauty. So for the next snake, right here we have a pastel butter. And this one is het hypo, 66% het for clown. Pastel really brought in all the nice yellow tones on the snake, as well as blush the top of the head. Pastel really tends to blush out the heads on almost every combo, and when you add the super pastel, it really blushes it out. Let's see if I can move him without getting tagged, or her. But really nice. Also brought all this really nice flaming from the belly. There's no yellow belly in here. That's just the pastel butter. But really nice snake. Let's move on to the next combo. If we were to take that pastel butter and take it one step further, we would get this pastel butter vanilla 100% het clown girl. And you can see again that pastel vanilla working really well at brightening the head. A lot more blushed out than just the pastel butter, but also brightening up the whole snake. Really like all the blushing coming up from the belly and the almost white pattern in alien heads. Really cool. You can see the vanilla again whacking it out. It's not as clean as the pastel butter, but I prefer this look a little bit better. And you can see just how blushed out that head is. Again, at the top it looks like someone took an eraser almost and just erased a little bit of the scales. Really nice combo. So now let's go move on to some other pastel combos. This snake right here is a Bumblebee or a pastel spider. This one just happens to be 66% het pied. Really nice combo. A lot of people's first combo into ball pythons. Captures a lot of people's eyes, and you can see why. It's really bright. The color almost pops compared to a spider, and all you had to do was add pastel. Brings all these really nice yellow tones. Also help the high white sides. You can also see that pastel blushing in the head again. If you were to compare this to a normal spider, the head would be a really brown and almost green. And it also brought some flaming or blushing into the dorsal. This girl is a couple months old, so it's not as drastic as when she was a baby, but she's still looking really good. And the cool thing about this one, she doesn't have too much of a wobble, and I'll make a video in the future about the spider wobble. So if you guys just take a second right now to like this video, and if you're not already subscribed, subscribe. And now we'll go move on to the next snake. Right here we have another Bumblebee, but this one has what I believe is Krypton, or Het Cryptic and Het for Clown. If you look at the head, it's really wide eye stripes. The pattern bands a lot more than usual. And still a very bright snake. You can see all the blushing in the head from the Pastel. And even the Krypton is blushing it out even more. Pastel and Krypton work very well together, or Cryptic. And this girl hatched out as a surprise for me. I'm sorry, this is actually a boy. I'm not 100% sure it's Krypton, but a lot different than any of the other Bumblebees I produced. And the mom has proved Het Cryptic, so really cool snake. So sticking on the Krypton, this is a Pastel enchi Krypton, and you can see how well the Pastel really brightened up that head, blushed the middle out entirely. It looks like almost like a female washroom sign with the center all yellowed out. You can see how well Pastel works with Krypton at brightening it up. If you compare this to a Pastel enchi, it's a lot brighter and a really nice combo. Pastel's bringing in all the nice flaming, as well as the yellow color inside of the pattern. Also blushed out that head really much, pretty much yellow except for the washroom sign. And the pinched head like that is from the enchi. Almost looks like an enchi clown head, or a Pastel enchi clown head. And I'll show you guys that right now. So here's my Pastel enchi clown girl. She is deep in shed, but you can see exactly what I mean with that female washroom sign on the head. Very similar to the Krypton, and if it wasn't in shed, you would see the blushing right in the middle of the head, right there, like it is on the Krypton. It's really cool, but the pattern is a little bit different. The enchi in the clown tends to have a reduced back pattern where it's only a stripe, and then the Pastel is bringing in all the blushings into the dorsal pattern, as well as some of the flaming up the sides. Now let's move on to a different Pastel clown combo. Here is my Pastel vanilla clown breeder male. He has dulled out over the years, but you can still really see how bright and blushed he is, especially at the head. Really nice blushing. When he was born, he was very bright yellow. Really cool. You can see how the Pastel brought all the blushing into the dorsal and throughout the snake, and you can see the vanilla pattern really coming in here and connecting all the way down the sides. Really nice male. But once again, Pastel vanilla clown. And now we're gonna go take this one step further, or two steps further, and add vanilla and spot nose. So let's go check that out. So wow, talk about taking it up a notch. This is my Pastel vanilla spot nose yellow belly clown. I'm not 100% sure vanilla's in here, but I've had some people tell me there is and some people tell me there wasn't. It was definitely in the pairing from the last male I just showed you guys. But a really nice blushed out head. That's pretty much a typical Pastel head. Tend to have a really nice yellow with the middle all blushed out. And you can see the Pastel bringing in all the flaming along the dorsal and these really nice yellow tones inside the pattern. You also have really nice flaming from the Pastel and yellow belly coming up the sides. If there was no Pastel in this animal, the flaming would be really red and orange, and you'd have a lot more blacks throughout the snake. So really pleased with what Pastel did in this combo. And now let's check out a super Pastel combo clown. This very bright snake right here is my super Pastel spot nose banana Mojave clown. And wow, Pastel, a super Pastel and banana work really well at just making this an almost white snake. You really see the power of super Pastel. I think when the snake gets a little bit older, more of the pattern will fade. But I'm really liking how he's looking right now. And you can really see the spot nose Mojave clown pattern. Got some donuts over here and just all connecting pattern. It's really a magnificent snake. And he's trying to escape right now, so let me just corral him back in here. But once again, super pastel banana Mojave spot nose clown. And something that's really cool about super pastels is they really like to wash out the head. So if we can get this guy to stop moving and look at his head. Come on, guy, help me out. You can see that it's almost pure white. And if there was no banana in the snake, it wouldn't be as white. But yet still a really cool combo. There we go. There's almost no pattern on the head. It's very stunning and white. So now we're gonna step away from the clowns and move into the pieds. This right here is my Pastel pied proven breeder female. And you can see how well Pastel works at brightening the pied. Brought in all these really nice yellow tones into the saddle, especially towards the bottom of the saddles. And overall just brightened up the saddle. It's a lot more brighter than a normal pied. Normal pied is going to be a lot more brown, almost the same color as the cocoa. So that's a little bit of contrast for you guys. But if you take a look at her head, you can really see the blushing, especially as a baby. These things come out really blushed. But just like most ball pythons, as adults they tend to fade out. And you can also see how the Pastel really got this nice dorsal stripe into the pied, but also broke it up with some pixelation. You guys can really see what I'm talking about here. You can find this a lot on a Pastel pied. So if you buy a breeder pied and she's a little bit brighter and she has all this weird pixelation, chances are she is a Pastel. And you should go and ask the breeder who produced her and if Pastel was in the pairing. But there you can really see that blush on the head. Once again, it faded out as an adult. But a really nice snake overall. And I'm gonna go show you my Pastel Dinker pied right now. So right here is my Pastel Dinker pied, and you can see she still has that really nice dorsal stripe and some of that pixelation I was just talking about. And if you look at her head, you can see the blushed out mark. It almost looks like a baby's face. Really cool. And once again, you can see all the nice yellow tones towards the belly. But the Dinker gene is working really well at bringing some more oranges into the snake. And I'm happy to see what the Dinker project does for me in the future. But this definitely looks a lot brighter than a normal Pastel pied. And she's around 1,000 grams right now. The other one I just showed you was around 1,800 grams. And you guys can really see the color difference. And this one has already faded a lot since it was a baby. When it came out, it was a bright orange with a really nice blushed head. But now let's go move on to the last pied I have with Pastel. Right here I have a Pastel Enchi yellow belly or orange dream pied. I'm not too sure. He's going to be breeding for me this season, so I will definitely go and prove him out. But right there, you still have that Pastel Enchi head stamp that looks like a butterfly. When it was a baby, it was a lot brighter. And you can see that Enchi brings a lot of pattern into pied. And with the Pastel, it made this dorsal stripe really bright and throughout the whole pattern along the pied. And then we have the orange dream or yellow belly bringing in all this nice flaming from the belly, and the Pastel making it that much better. So that is the last snake I'm going to show you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Once again, no cameraman. Had one for the start of this video, but he got called to go do something, so I had to go do the rest of it solo for you guys. So if you could please like, share, and subscribe, I would highly appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys on the next Morph Madness. Peace out.